What is going on, FA Nation? Jon Impemba with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS Playbook Preview Show. It is Friday. We are looking at the 12-game main slate over on DraftKings. James, Friday, TGIF, end of the work week. We've made it. Monster slate, some big pitching here, and once again, maybe some possible weather to contend with. If you look at the screen, we got a couple of rain clouds here, Baltimore, KC. LA, Atlanta dealing with some potential rain here as well. So we'll see if this 12-game slate remains. We'll see where the wind is blowing. But good way to end the week. Big 12-game slate.
You said a lot of good things there. A lot of great things. Most of them involve the words Friday and Friday. Because if you remember, on way Tuesday? Back on was it Tuesday? Yeah. See, this is now I don't know, but either Tuesday or Wednesday, I told you I thought it was Friday. I woke up thinking it was Friday. That felt like last week. Might as well have been doing it last week. And now we have actually arrived, John. TGI freaking F. I know that's like TGIFF, TGIFF, but you know what? We're here. We made it. It's a great slate. It's a great day to be great, John.
It is.
Great day to be great.
Tarek Skubal, 10-5, and Yamamoto at 10-3 is your top two priced starting pitchers. Max Fried, $9,500. Bassett, $93. Joe Ryan at $9K against Boston is your top five starting priced pitchers. You've long been team Yamamoto, but we have Skubal here against the Angels at $10,500. It's a big slate, so there's certainly plenty of other pitching options to get to, but do you find yourself more inclined to spend up on big slates, or do you think going more of a middle tier, fair balance approach is the way to go?
I mean, I don't want to be just a can of corn here, but slate dependent, I would say. When you have the names Skubal, Yamamoto, Fried heading the list, I would be definitely inclined to get to one of those three. So it is very slate dependent. At least we don't have cores. So like there's not like those bats we are jamming in. We don't even have Great American that we're jamming in.
No Sacramento, no Tampa Bay.
Yeah. So like it's a lot of like just normal pricing, like your run of the mill, no team is really like outrageously priced. So yeah, I would say I have no problem getting to any of those top names. They're all great. Skubal, great. Obviously, best pitcher in baseball. Yep. Guy's great. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, was he outdueled by Paul Skeens? He was. He walked too many guys. Still only allowed one earned. Obviously has a ceiling, and Atlanta has been very up and down. Could definitely get there. And then Max Fried has been an elite pitcher, and he gets a matchup against a team that he had a no-hitter that was then not a no-hitter when he wasn't even pitching. He wasn't even pitching, and he lost his no-hitter, which, go figure that one out. But we talked about the Tampa Bay against lefty stuff a couple times this week, and they are not getting any better there. It's like someone go score meme in basketball. Yeah. Junior Caminero go hit, because if he doesn't, they don't score against lefties. So I think you can not go wrong with any of the top three. Skubal is your top name, but I wouldn't have a problem if you went Yamamoto. I wouldn't have a problem if you went Fried.
Yeah, just looking at some of the splits here, the Angels against left-handed pitching. Now, they only have 163 at-bats against left-handed pitching. That is the second fewest, actually tied for the fewest with the Houston Astros. But it's a 28% strikeout rate, a 204 batting average, a 130 ISO, and a 254 WOBA against left-handed pitching. 254 second to last. Their ISO is, where's the Angels? 14th and ISO at 138. So middle of the pack there. And their batting average is 27th. And again, the second highest strikeout rate. Tampa Bay has over 300 plate appearances, so almost double the plate appearances against left-handed pitching. Their strikeout rate's 23.7%, so obviously a little bit lower, but a 197 batting average, second worst in the league. Their ISO against left-handed pitching is just 100, which is 26, and their WOBA against left-handed pitching is 265, which is 27. So all of the other numbers for Tampa Bay against lefties are abysmal. The Angels are also really bad, and they gave you the second highest strikeout rate. So nothing against Yamamoto, obviously, because his matchup here also is pretty good. But Skubal and Fried, are in spots where they could, flat out dominate here.
Agreed. I mean, I don't disagree. I'm just saying, like, and you hear me say it all the time, just like pitching talent in general. It would not surprise anybody to see Yamamoto go like 7 scoreless with 8 strikeouts against anybody.
I agree. Your chalk play, I think, in the mid range is going to be Framber Valdez here at $8,800.
Undoubtedly.
202 batting average against left-handed pitching, 113 ISO, 257 WOBA for the White Sox, just a 22% strikeout rate. You think maybe that would be a little bit higher. It's obviously not. Framber Valdez has gone through stretches of being a good strikeout pitcher and then not a good strikeout pitcher. But in general, absolute horse will give us a quality start more often than not. And it should be a spot where, 2 or fewer runs, 6 to 7 innings, and 5 or 6 strikeouts are on the board here.
Yeah, fatigued arm Framber is looking unfatigued just for a couple days of rest earlier in the year. Yeah, he looks great. Other than the strikeouts are completely evaporating because they've apparently just become a ghost.
He does this, right? He goes through random stretches of striking guys out and not. So
it's so weird, dude. It's so weird. But he makes up for it because he pitches into every 7th inning imaginable. So now we have said this before where like we imagine someone's going to be super chalk and then they haven't been, because I think even though Robbie Ray has been really lucky and just wildly inconsistent, he's coming off like whatever start he had against Texas, and he gets Colorado in a massive ballpark. That is also very live to be really popular, right?
Because that's one of the reasons why I asked you. Do you think that you have to go and spend up on this slate, or do you just go Robbie Ray, Framber Valdez, save the top end money and use that money to pay for bats, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would say both things are on the table. It just depends on how you want to handle your lineup, right? Like if you find a cheap stack, then you can do it. If you're playing Boston stack, then you're not just like, I'm going to go up and get Skubal and Max Fried, because then you're playing like,
oh, right. Yeah, I agree.
So it will just depend on you. But on this,
I'm going to want to play Giants here against Antonio Senzatella. So generally, the Giants are not an expensive team to play.
They're not. I do agree. Obviously, massive win equity for Robbie Ray here with Senzatella on the other side. I don't mind it. Like, if that's your approach, I think a lot of lineups start Valdez, Ray.
Yeah.
But you're always going to get the people that are going up to spend on Tarek Skubal.
Like, well, we had this almost a similar situation a few slates ago with Peralta and Crochet at the top of the slate, and neither of those two ultimately paid off their 10K plus price tags.
Yep.
And those who spent up, got ended up getting burned there. So now, again, different pitchers, different scenarios, different matchups, but there's definitely merit to say like, hey, Robbie Ray and Framber Valdez can come out of here with 25 plus fantasy points each.
Yes,
on this slate. So something to look at there. Texas offense has obviously ticked up a little bit, but what are your thoughts on Brian Wu here against Texas? The Rangers sent down Jake Berger today. Like Wyatt Langford's really good. Josh Smith's really good, but that's kind of it that's clicking for him. Are you worried at all about Wu? Would you pitch Wu here?
I am not worried. He has been pretty good, and I think the most telling thing was he was really good last time out on the road, right? And we've not loved Mariners pitchers not named Logan on the road in the past, and him going into Boston in a day game and just kind of shoving really shows you that he is just blossoming him into a great pitcher. So
even Toronto, the start before that, right? 7 innings, 3 earned on the road there.
Yep.
And then face Texas at home and just shut them down. 7 innings and earned 7 strikeouts. So I do think Brian Wu also, let's just say, I think the mid tier is fairly strong here.
Agreed.
Anything else that you would look at? I'm not really. Burbeo's been fine.
He's been good.
I don't know if I would go really anywhere else though.
Yeah, I mean, we get Seattle offense away from, and Jack Leiter has to deal with the fighting Polanco, so that doesn't seem.
I mean,
that doesn't
186 ISO Seattle versus right-handed pitching. So
that doesn't seem great. Grant Holmes coming off his worst start and against the Dodgers. Soriano has been like kind of bad since a really good start. That doesn't seem too fun. Quinn Priester, absolutely not. Maybe Jonathan Cannon coming off like a good start. I don't think you need to. Okay, here's one. I know Logan Allen's coming off at this start against Boston, but he had been pitching really well. What do we have for Toronto? Because I know they're like dead last or last in almost every category against right-handed pitching. What are they against lefties this year?
Yeah, so almost 12% walk rate, 21% strikeout rate, 258 batting average is 7th best. ISO against left-handed pitching is 10th highest. 338 WOBA is 5th best.
Okay.
So no go.
Okay. There. So they just hit lefties. That's great news for anyone that
we got a 4K Gunnar Hoglund against Miami.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this, right? The 4K with the 4K pitchers, it's just like
the Cade, what's his face yesterday had a no-hitter going for 6 innings.
Yeah,
Carmen. That's what it was. Carmen, right?
Yeah, Carmen. Yeah,
is it Carmen?
It's Carmen. It's Carmen.
Okay.
Carmen. Yeah.
Cameron. Who was the Royals pitcher yesterday? Cameron sounds more right.
Cameron.
Right?
Carmen Moldonsky. Yes. And then Cameron is the pitcher for the Royals that had the no-hitter.
Yes.
Going.
Yeah, that sounds right. Anyway, he was 4K yesterday. So
he was. And that it's not like always going to work. Like that approach is not just like this is going to work, play the 4K pitcher. But when it does, you just have a leg up on the field because if this guy goes out and gives you 20 fantasy points, you are in a hell of a spot. Even if you get 15 fantasy points from a 4K pitcher, you are in the hell of a spot. And the Marlins strike out a lot. A lot.
To put some respect on his name, it was Noah Cameron. He went 6 in the 3rd inning, 1 hit. He had 5 walks and 3 strikeouts, but still threw only 79 pitches. So, like, 5 walks, under 80 pitches through 6 in the 3rd inning is the Tampa Bay Rays were just out there swinging, man. They were putting balls in play. So if you wanted to spend up on Scooble and still have money for bats, maybe Gunnar Hoglund is 30 strikeouts in 29 innings, like you said, the 2 ERA. We'll see. We'll see what happens here against Miami.
I mean, I think like there's always viability to that stuff because he's 4K and like the ceiling. You shouldn't have pitchers at that price pitching long stretches of games, right? Like,
and look at the guys that are above him, and Dean Kremer and Antonio Senzatella, guys who are averaging single-digit fantasy points for $1,000 more.
Yeah, it's cooked. It's cooked.
Yeah, so could get there depending on how you want to build your lineups. Was there anybody else you just wanted to touch on, or is that
No, that's it.
Catcher position. Obviously, on such a large slate, there are plenty of places to go if you want to spend up. You have the greatest hitter of all time, Carson Kelly, at $5,200. Kyle Raleigh, who might hit 40 home runs against Jack Leiter, at $4,900
before the All-Star break.
Yeah, maybe right before the All-Star break, potentially there. Augustin Ramirez, if you're not going Hoglunds, at 42. Some guys in the top half. Dude, Will Smith is just 4K still against Grant Holmes. Like,
yeah, it's
feels way too cheap for Will Smith still. That's your top half right there.
Look at us. Character development here.
We have to. We're now a month plus into the season. We have to acknowledge the potential winning players at the position here.
Yeah.
Yes, it was easier when DraftKings didn't know how to price any of these catchers either. And for the first 3 weeks, we're just like Carson Kelly or Miguel Amaya because they're $2,500 and we can just plug him in. Now he is $5,200.
Yeah.
Remember we had the show where Kyle Raleigh was $3,900. I'm like, what are we doing? He's got double dong potential and he hit 2 home runs that night, right? Like, now he's $4,900. So that's, to me, that's Will Smith, right? Like, Will Smith is a double dong guy in the middle of the Dodgers lineup at $4,000 in Atlanta in the spring, summer. We'll see what the humidity looks like, but if the rain holds out, he might bring the rain. Josh Johnson.
Shout out Josh Johnson.
So I'm in on this Will Smith price tag, man.
It's an elite price tag for a guy who continues to just rake. I mean, dude, that whole lineup is hitting at that whole lineup is starting to click, and that's really scary. I mean, they've scored.
Connie's woken up. He's not hitting 300 again. So
Mookie, Teoscar's homering every day
and stealing bases. Freddie hit a home. I mean, dude, they're just Pa is the best player in the world. Like, dude. They are just what they are. And that's why you've seen all the runs scored lately. They can't stop. They're not going to stop. And Will Smith gets you to a cheap, he is a cheaper portion of a Dodger stack, right? And in the middle of their lineup. Yeah, 100%. 4K is crazy to me. Going down into this next tier, Sonny Gray has a home run problem. We know that. Francisco Alvarez actually hit righties better.
Yep.
So if you wanted to go there, there is Miguel Amaya at 32. If he's playing over Kelly, I would play that against Quinn Priester all day.
Oh, yes.
Let's see.
Amaya, for the record, Carson Kelly's been great. So Miguel Amaya, for a backup catcher, has 14 RBIs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good, dude. That's good.
Yeah, for sure. Alejandro Kirk is $2,800.
Ooh.
Against Allen there?
Oh, boy. Blue Jays. We have not played a lot of Blue Jays.
Have not played a lot of Blue Jays.
They have not looked good.
Still not sure I'm going to, but they've beat the Red Sox the last 2 nights, so... Yeah.
Well, Varsho being back, 2 home runs in 3 games. That lineup looks a little different. Vladdy hitting and homering, Kirk hitting and homering. They just look better. They just look better.
Yeah, you know why they look better? They moved Andres Jimenez to the 8 hole.
Yes. So. And once Varsho came back and it was like, and Santander is hitting Kirk at 28.
Santander homered off Whitlock the other day.
So. This is your chalk catcher.
Kirk,
easy. Yeah. Caratini, if he's in the lineup, I always give him a shout. He homered the other day. He's a good hitter.
Yeah.
He's a good hitter. $2,700.
I agree with you. I'll also give Freddie Furman a look as well.
He's good. He's good.
Dude, Salvi left with the injury today, the tight hip. And I mean, you guys have watched this show. I'm always just giving sort of the courtesy shout to Freddie Furman. A few years ago, he was actually a 300 hitter.
Yep.
Right? His rookie year. And he's just sort of a victim of sample sizes right now. He has 2 games where he goes 0 for 5 and his batting average is 200. He has 2 games where he goes 5 for 9. He's back up to 260. So he is a very serviceable bat first catcher here. So
100%.
at $2,400 against Dean Creamer, who's been largely garbage this year. I'm willing to really punt that if you needed to go like way down.
Yep.
Again, you mentioned Carantini and Kirk for a few $100 more, but if you needed it, I'm happy to go there. First base, my computer will let me go there. Up at the very top, you have your Dodgers.
Mine froze there too, by the way. Mine going to first base, I had also a delay.
Yeah.
I wonder if like we tried to click it at the exact same time and DraftKings was like, no,
it could
only
also
one
be
at a
like
time.
12-game slate, and they've loaded every man's 40 man.
True.
So like they're now they have to load 600 players. We kind of talked a little bit about this. Now, I don't think this will be the case today, but the Dodgers have not been getting ownership.
No.
Now they haven't gotten ownership in spots where they faced like some okay pitching. Like nobody played them against Sandy Alcantara. We're like, why? Like
Right.
Sandy's been very bad. If we go to another slate where the Dodgers were like Ohtani's always like 11 to 12% like minimum baseline, yes. And then chalk days he's like 20, but then everybody else is like under 10%. If we get to this slate again and no one's on the Dodgers in Atlanta against Grant Holmes, like I'm gonna just pivot and make the dude. They've hung 12 and 15 runs in 2 of the last 3 games.
They have
8 9 just on the screen without scrolling. 8 runs, 9 runs, 7 runs, 15 runs, 12 runs, and like nobody's ever playing this team.
Never
at the chalk. Like they get like 8 to 10% ownership.
Yep.
If that's the case again, like sign me up for some Dodgers here.
Agreed.
Ohtani, Freeman, all in. Alonso homered again the other day. You can certainly go back to that. Well, this could be the beginning of the end for Quinn Priester as he faces the Cubs here. Michael Busch at $5,100. Ben Rice versus Pepio. Like this is a low. Vladdy homered again. Vladdy up. Play them all. Like I have no problems. No problems there.
I have nothing to add.
Didn't mean to steal all of your thunder.
No. You're right. I don't. There's just nothing.
I'll let you discuss the mid fours because there are some nice names in good spots there as well.
Yeah. Tyler Soderstrom against Valente Belozo looks awesome. He has been slumping a little bit, but also very powerful dude hitting in the middle of a good lineup. Kyle Manzardo not slumping at all. Very powerful guy. Now, Chris Bassett, I believe, allowed his first home run of the year against the Yankees, and he allowed 2 of them. Yeah, first 2 home runs. And this is a guy that we've talked about for a few years struggling against lefties.
Yes.
It is worth mentioning he has not allowed a lot of home runs. So take that for what it's worth. I'm not saying Manzardo can't, but Bassett has been great in that area. And
the numbers against Bassett for lefties are starting to go back.
Okay.
He's still obviously this year major outlier with the way he started the year. 30% strikeout rate still against lefties. Like he was never a 11K per 9 guy.
Yeah.
But the slugging's on its way back up to almost 400. The WOBA's up over 300 now. Again, it's a slow progression back to hit lefties just smoking this guy. So Manzardo certainly can get it
done. Torkelson obviously slowing down, but has a ceiling because the power. Goldschmidt can't be stopped, won't be stopped no matter what. He just will hit some more. And finally hit for power. That's the one thing that he hasn't done. And he finally homered the other day. O'Hearn's been really good. So, yeah, I mean, that whole 4K tier, I didn't even mention Wilmer Flores, who just has 30 RBIs and against Senzatella here.
He's been struggling, but the Senzatella matchup is kind of a cure-all. A guy who is allowing more hits per 9 innings than any pitcher in baseball. So, I'm full on board there with you. In the under 9K range, Christian Walker.
Under 4K range.
What did I say?
9K range.
I was thinking. Yep. I think in my brain I was thinking about the number of hits Senzatella is going to allow. In the under 4K range, I think Christian Walker, again, another guy where starting to show a little bit of life. It's Jonathan Cannon, a guy that like he's not a $3,700 player. He's probably about $1,000 more expensive than that when he's going good. So don't mind that for the home run potential for him there. Let's see.
We gotta acknowledge the last few days for Pasquantino.
Sure.
It's a 2-day It's a 2-day sample. It is not he has not been good at all this year, but even throughout that, he has 20 RBIs in 31 games, despite not being good. And
they got the Shane Baz today,
and they got the Shane Baz. So, I mean, I think it's it's a consideration for me for sure.
Oh, it should be more than a consideration for you.
This is the Kramer
lefty splits. You ready for him?
Oh yeah, I like this. I like this already. This sounds good.
Okay. 550 slug, 387 WOBA. He's already allowed 7 homers to lefties this year.
How many innings? 7 homers?
Yeah, it's a 2.3 homers per 9 allowed there. 20 innings, 7 homers, 6 games. So 5.85 ERA. Just lefties are doing a lot of damage here against Dean Kramer there. So Vinny Pasquantino could be in a pretty good spot here.
It's a good spot. It's a good spot.
Lefties potentially in a good spot. There are only a couple of lefties in the Royals lineup, but Pasquantino certainly. Little Vinny Paz, Bobby Witt. Jesus, I'm blanking now. Bobby Witt back there could be something.
We are rolling right now.
Billy, Bobby, Slappy Swanson. All right, let's go. Anything else down here?
Rowdy Tellez, if you're playing a Mariner stack against Jack Leiter, he'll hit in like the middle of their lineup.
Mm-hmm. What did Texas call up, you said, for Berger?
They called up a first baseman.
Is he on this? Not Ezekiel.
They called up Blaine Krim.
Krim? It's a K or C?
It is a C. Blaine Krim. He is a first baseman, third baseman, outfielder. He is 27 years old.
Well, he's not on the slate, so.
He hit 20 home runs in the PCL last year. He hit 6 home runs so far, 7 home runs already through 28 games, 930 OPS. He has a 916 career OPS. 879 career OPS in the minors. 27 years old.
We can't play him unless they add him to the slate. So maybe we'll be on the lookout for that here. All right. Well, let's go to second base. Let's see. Altuve's 48, Gleyber's 47.
Just homered again for
Did he?
Gleyber Torres, yeah.
Knicks beat the Pistons, for those of you who are tuning in and watching after the game's over on the show. Live updates during a recorded show. Doesn't necessarily always work, but it does.
Hey, you know what? Maybe someone who watches this show forgot basketball was on,
That's true. Brendan Donovan, $4,400 against Clay Holmes. Not a bad spot there. Nico's, but Priester matchup. Where'd you go? Michael Garcia, I guess, 37?
Yeah, dude, he's been good. He's been really good. And really good, Michael Garcia is scary because he's running. He had 3 stolen bases the other day against Tampa.
Yeah, Dean Kramer is bad against everybody too. Righties, 488 slugging, 1.7 homers per 9. So
Look, you and I have talked already enough about wanting to play Royals and Blue Jays, and they're like the two worst offenses in baseball this year.
Yeah, we're screwed.
And we're at second base.
Yeah.
Fortunately for us, like we're not like playing those with cores. Like we're like, let's play Royals instead of cores.
Yeah.
It's like, no. At least we're doing this when we're
build your Royal stack around your Dodger stack tomorrow.
Yeah. But like they are coming alive. Garcia's hitting. Witt has a 22-game hit streak. Pasquantino is doing this. Furman is hitting over 300 his last 10 days.
Salvi was really good till the injury.
Salvi was really good, and we've talked about it. He's incredibly unlucky player. Drew Waters has been an excellent surprise for them. There's been a lot to like for Kansas City recently, like very recently.
And they'll have some help coming soon. I don't know if you saw the reports, but they got Jack Caglione playing outfield there. At Double-A. So
yeah. Okay.
They moved them off first. They say, hey, go try right field for us here. And they're getting them some outfield reps. So that guy could be in their lineup maybe by the end of the year, the way he's playing at the minor league level right now. So all right, let's see. Julian, again, Bayo's been good, but lefties has kind of always been a problem for him. Don't mind Luis Angel against Sonny Gray.
Semion's price just keeps going down. 2,600. It's just going to keep getting lower and lower and lower. He had another good game for the price.
Yeah, you're not going to play him against Wu though, right?
Only thing I'd say is if you're looking for a punt, he is in punt range. He is $2,600, hitting 300 over the last 10 days. Look at his fantasy production.
I know.
And his price is going down. I'm not saying like this is like got to play him, but if you're looking to punt somewhere, like typically I'd be like all in on the Michael Massey stuff. Because
I was going to say, I mean, Massey's 24. If they just keep hitting him fifth, I mean,
dude, he's so bad. He's been so
but he's not this bad.
Are we sure?
Right? Like he's not this bad.
I don't know, John. Look at let's do your final verdict on his baseball savant
even
page.
Fangraphs has his rest of season batting average at 250 with a 150 ISO. He has an 030 ISO this year.
it's
after
really,
having a 190 ISO last year, right?
Yeah, he was really good against right-handed pitching.
Yeah, dude, this is a guy the last 2 years has hit 15 and 14 homers in 100 and 129 games. So like that's 20 plus home run upside for a full 162. And this year he has an 030 ISO. Nah, dude, he's gonna figure that out. If not, he's gonna be demoted because he's a 27-year-old hitting 180, right? Like, his prospect days are over. They're not waiting for any more development here. You're either going to contribute to the success of this team, or they can find somebody else to hit 180. So. I will say this: as ugly as the StatCast page is, and it is atrocious. Only an 18% strikeout rate, so not really striking out all that much. 83rd percentile whiff rate, so when he's swinging, he's not swinging and missing. He's just like not making good contact. That's really all it is. Just really bad contact. But even his expected batting average is like 35 points higher than what it actually is right now. So
it's one of those like,
dude, I hear you. I'm just saying, like, if he's gonna hit fifth again against a guy that's giving up 2.5 homers per 9 and almost a 600 slugging to lefties.
Yeah, I'm not like in like disagreement with you.
You don't have to get here though. I'm just suggesting it as an option for your player pool.
Yeah. Okay. We'll end on the Michael Massey talk on option for your player pool.
Option for your player pool. All right, third base then. Jose Ramirez at $5,400. Joe Ryan was very good in his last start. He had like 13 strikeouts in that, something like that. But obviously, Boston's back home. Alex Bregman's been on fire and loves the Green Monster. And then you have Devers, who was really hot and stayed hot during that Toronto series. Now he's coming back home. Both of these Red Sox bats probably go overlooked with Joe Ryan. But the Red Sox offense is really firing right now. So could be a contrarian play for us here.
Well, they go overlooked because Jorge Polanco is cheaper than both of them.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
I mean, look, I don't know what the heck's going on other than possible things,
Well, I tweeted that Jorge Polanco is probably going to get a random drug test soon. So
yeah, I mean, like, I read the Mitchell report.
100 percentile expected WOBA, expected batting average, expected slugging.
No, he's doing this in the worst ballpark in baseball, and like that's where the home runs were coming. 7 of his home runs have happened in Seattle.
Look at that poll chart.
He was available, by the way, in our fantasy league because I dropped him, and then I picked him back up.
Yeah.
He's been like no joke. This is not even a joke. You can probably count on one hand players that have played better than him this year. How many batters this year have legitimately been better than Jorge Polanco?
Not many.
Judge?
Yeah, Judge. I mean, he's hitting 380. It's hard to.
I'm just like, we're talking Jorge Polanco. He's been better than Kyle Tucker. He's been better than Bobby Witt. He's been better than Shohei Ohtani. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No,
and he's $4,700 with multi-position eligibility.
Yeah, I mean, you ride it out. Obviously, there's a higher probability that he falls off a cliff sooner rather than later. But maybe not, right? Like maybe after a 10-year major league career at 31 years old, almost 32, he figured it out. Maybe. He's got a 339 batting average in balls in play. It's not like he is a Paul Goldschmidt 400 plus BABIP, right? He's got a 425 ISO. His previous career high was 235. He has a 33 homer season on his ledger, so it's not like he hasn't done it before.
Yep.
He's at an 11% strikeout rate and a 5% walk rate. The 11% strikeout rate is the lowest of his career. He had a 30% strikeout rate last year. He has an 11% strikeout rate this year.
Got better contacts.
He's got an 800 slugging percentage.
Got way better contacts. New eyes. He might have got just new eyeballs. Did he just get new eyes?
He hit 198 from the left side of the plate last year. I have no answers.
I can guarantee you that's not the average this year because he's only hitting from the left side.
No, he's 388 from the left side of the plate. Yeah.
It is unfathomable about how good he's been. But like you said, while he's been this good, play him at $4,700 because he's too cheap.
Yes. Sure. I don't even have any sort of rebuttal to that. Lefties against Jack Leiter, for what it is, 26 batters. They are 4 for 26. It's a 160 average, a 170 WOBA.
Okay. It's a little small
if you were looking for like any reason at all to be like, well, maybe, but that's a wildly small sample size. So
right.
He said with 3 starts.
So 3 starts. Yeah, like 3 starts.
Take that for what it is. Polanco's great. You have your Giants here. Both of them are struggling, but they're there against Senzatella. So
Yep.
Can go that there. Paredes is 4K. Can play Garcia here.
You know who you can
go ahead.
You can play Javi Baez, who
I
homered again. Who homered again tonight?
I wonder if it's because they're good now that he is now locked in.
Dude, he is so good right now.
Would it shock
Unbelievably
you
good.
that a player like Javi Baez gets locked in when the team is winning and it's just checking out when the team is not?
Are you just might as well just at Luis Robert, right?
Yes. But Luis Robert's actually also starting to be
he is
productive because I think Luis Robert realizes, all right, well, no one's going to trade for me if I'm playing like ass. So
right.
if I just show that I am capable of playing well, maybe someone will save me. So
also, I was looking at some Luis Robert stuff earlier. Has had some bad luck on his side as well. So, yeah, I mean, dude, Javi's been great. I don't really know how else to say it. And now the power home runs in 2 straight games for Javi Baez as well. So, just kind of riding the wave there.
Williamson, Brooks Lee's 31. Can keep playing him if you want against Bayo.
He's good, dude. He's a good hitter.
Yeah, dude. I think he was like what, a top 30 prospect last year?
Yeah, highly coveted guy.
Yeah, maybe even higher. It's probably as low as we go, though, right? Jace Young, it's 2,300.
Yeah, we don't need to go down here.
Shortstop: Bobby Witt, Mookie Betts, Lindor, Gunnar Henderson. Your top 4.
Bobby, Mookie, Frankie, Gunna. I'd play them all. I mean, Witt has a 22 game hit streak, homered, stealing bases. Yep. Mookie has a bunch of RBIs lately, couple multi-hit games. Looks like things are coming around for him. I would play him in a stack. Lindor, you literally couldn't have written your words better. The script that you wrote down about Francisco Lindor is the only one not to get involved, and then homers the next day.
Yeah.
Poetic justice there. And Gunnar, just you get a righty on the mound, and Gunnar automatically like turns into a superhero, and he can run. So like, I'd play any of the 4. I would probably lean the top 2. Sure. I think Witt and Mookie are like 1A tier, and the other 2 are like 1B tier, but absolutely no issues getting to any 4.
Sure. We touched obviously on Polanco already. I think the next group that I run to is Swanson, Bichette, and Jacob Wilson here.
Yeah, Swanson's been really good and obviously hits an elite lineup. And obviously your feeling on baseball must be at an all-time high when you homer off Paul Skeens, and he was the first one to homer off Paul Skeens. So you probably just carry that for the rest of the year. Like, I can hit anybody type vibes. Like, that's the best pitcher in the game, and I took him deep. So yeah, I mean, he's been really good lately. I will not play Bo Bichette. Okay. Basically, until I see that he can hit a home run.
So I said, is it the power? Because he has hits in multi-hit games and
home run. I need a home run out of Bo Bichette.
Okay.
We've gotten him out of Jacob Wilson 3 times. A guy that you were literally like, this guy's going to compete for a batting title. He's not going to hit home runs.
He might lead the league in doubles, but he's not going to hit home runs unless it stays in Sacramento.
Sutter, yeah. Well, 3 years, right? At least 3 years in Sacramento. So we're gonna have some inflation.
And then they moved to the desert. So, like, I mean, Las Vegas. I wonder if that ballpark also going to be conducive to offense.
Good point. It's a very valid point there. Could be offense haven. Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't say I won't play Bo Bichette. In a Blue Jay stack, it's fine. Jacob Wilson just hits. They keep hitting him second too. They hit him second again on the.
Hasn't scored a run yet, which is weird, but he will.
In the 2-hole, hasn't scored a run.
Yeah.
I guess that's true. Had 2 hits and an RBI, no runs. Yeah.
No runs. He's on base in front of the guys. The guys behind him aren't homering, so he's not scoring. So
yeah, that's true. Or when they are, or when they are, he's hitting 7th.
Agreed. I would like to play Adames versus Senzatella. Adames again
Righties.
hasn't been great. It's not Milwaukee. He can't hit a baseball.
But it's righties. At least this is the split. We have one half of the need for Willie Adames.
That's true. Josh Smith hits everybody. Mason Wynn, our guy, 3,200.
He did not help us win on the Thursday slate, John.
He did not. And
we Mason lost.
Probably hit him down the way.
No, I think they hit him second against a righty in those first couple games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was Nick Martinez and who was the other one? Who was their other starter? I don't know, but I think they hit him second. I guess
they had the bullpen kid, right? Or the rookie, whoever it was they called out.
Oh, it
was a double header, wasn't it?
Oof, it was a bad one. Petty.
Yeah,
Petty.
Yeah, he didn't last long.
No, he didn't. No, he
did not last long in that game.
No, he did not.
All right, other values down here. Anything?
JP Crawford, 3,100, continues to hit. They let him off the other day.
Yep. Polanco, Crawford stack, third base, shortstop.
Dude, Cal, and J-Rod or Rosarena on the road. That Seattle, another like really powerful team. Get them on the road and like they look good. So yeah, I mean, yeah.
All right, outfield. You have your Judge, Ohtani, Tucker, play whoever you want there.
Yes.
Same thing, sort of the next group after Mullins, because I'm not going to pin that money on Mullins.
Still doesn't make sense.
But Duran, Teoscar, Suzuki, Churio, Rooker, J-Rod, Willier, play them all. Jordan, Soto, Homer. What did we say? What did we say about Juan Soto? He's going to be too cheap for $5,000 at some point. The double dong. It's $5K against Sonny Gray, who gives up home runs. This could be the beginning of the beginning, and $5K is about $1,000 cheaper than he should be.
I know this is like basically when we say like a 3K player is too cheap and he should be like 4K. Like you're getting one of the 5 best hitters on the planet, and I'm probably selling him short. It's probably like one of the 3 best hitters on the planet for $1,000 too cheap.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. That next range, obviously you can play Langford, you can play Buxton, Lee, who did not play on the Thursday slate, will be fresh and ready to go against Senzatella at $4,900. Can do that one, obviously. Let's see, PCA's 46. Yes, Yaz is at 46 here. Butler hit the grand slam last night. He's $4,500. Snoop Bar, a lot of options here in the mid range.
Yeah, you mentioned Luis Robert. I know Framber is going to be popular, but Luis Robert has actually stolen a base in all 5 of his last 5 games, 6 over that span. Is 13 now leads the league? Is that the league leader? Maybe tied with like one of the Cruzes, Ellie or O'Neill. I'm assuming probably tied with that.
Probably, yeah.
It's a lot of steals, dude. He's just running. Springer Dinger here against Logan Allen. We've talked about that a couple times on this show already. So yeah, there's a lot to like.
Ian Happ at $4,200 is too cheap against Quinn Priester here.
Yeah, what's happening? Why is he so cheap?
I don't know. If you're stacking Cubbies, like you're taking the one hitter here, right? Like,
let me pray on it.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see.
We get Lefty Dominguez.
Yeah, Lefty Dominguez in Yankee Stadium at 4K. Santander versus Lefty was his right split for forever. You got him at 4K with the power.
I'm playing Blue Jays.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm playing Blue Jays. I've seen enough.
All right. I do like Victor Scott against Holmes at 4K. Can play any Giant, as I mentioned, against Senzatella. I'm pretty much playing any Met, I think, too, against Sonny Gray.
Yeah.
Larnick, some power against Bayo. Grisham's
Grisham
going to lead off against Pepio at 39.
Kerry Bonds leads off here, probably 39 with the righty on the mound.
Yeah. Soriano's such a ground ball pitcher, but I don't mind it.
He's been bad, though. The last 3 starts, he was really good and into really bad for 3 straight starts.
Yeah. Pajes, $3,500. Just keep riding that one.
Dude, he's been unbelievable. He's been unbelievable. And he runs, too. So, like, you're getting the power and the speed from Pajes.
I mean, look at these fantasy numbers, dude.
I know,
19, 14, 13, 18, 29, 14, 29, all 3,200 and under. Like, those are slate winning numbers at that
If you just cover that and you were like, who is this player? Is this which Dodger is this? Is this Ohtani, Betts, Hernandez, or other?
Yeah.
There'd be no votes for other.
If I did this, and you're like,
nobody would be like,
oh, Shohei's got 2 homers and 3 stolen bases over the last 5 games. That's great.
Literally what everyone would think, right? Like that's exactly what you're thinking, Shohei Ohtani.
And that's Andy Pajes. Riding out there with the worst StatCast page of all time, but it's going to go up. It's going to keep working. It's got to keep working in its favor here.
Oh boy!
All right, I'm sure there's some other guys. Well, I was going to say Eli White, but it's Yamamoto, so we're not going to challenge that one. But that dude's been awesome. You do this, you're like, oh man, Acuna's back on their team. Like, when did that happen? It's like, no,
he did get cores. So salute to Eli White for all that he's done.
Full advantage.
He took a lot of advantages, of course.
There, Jeff McNeil's 3K. Dane Myers hit the pinch hit grand slam. Roman Anthony, no, starting in left field, batting leadoff. Okay. So they come up. Obligatory Cam Smith up to $2,900 now.
Price is going up on our former punt. Oh, where's
Drew Waters? 26?
Yeah. There we go. Okay. I was looking.
Yeah, Drew Waters versus Dean Kramer here.
Yeah, I mean those are our 2 like easy plug and plays.
We played Drew Waters almost every slate at this point.
And I mean it's largely worked out for a sub. He's been near mid salary every slate this year.
Going. Just gonna keep playing him. All right, let's get the lineup going. Are we committing to Royals or Blue Jays first? Which one is
that's criminal.
I feel like the Royals stack actually kind of fits.
It does.
Our Dodgers a little bit better if we were to do like a Dodger stack.
Right? Because you would play Paz and you could still get away with Ohtani in the outfield.
Yeah, so like you could do Pascantino,
Garcia at third.
Yeah, Garcia at third because we're not going to play Muncy, obviously.
You're not playing Muncy, even though he homered.
You play Bobby. I would imagine you just play Bobby over Mookie.
Play Bobby.
Where's Michael here? It's 30.
He's 37. You play Waters and you play Witt.
Then you get Teoscar, you get Ohtani, you get Will Smith. Right, so
we have a 4K pitcher in our back pocket, so we can do whatever we want.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Like we can. I don't know if we'll need it, but
my computer is not enjoying what's going on.
I'm seeing this.
I don't know if you can hear it, but it is slow.
I cannot hear it, but I can visibly see it on the screen because I can hear the click,
and then he takes like 45.
But
seconds.
I don't see the progress being made. So we
did a full Royals.
It almost gets us to the mid tier.
Yeah, the Ray Framber stack.
Yeah, almost.
Right.
Now, if you did, what's his name? Hogland.
Yeah. We don't even really need to go that cheap.
I know. I'm just because then you could because then I think you might be able to get Scooble, and then we're cooking with maybe Tommy Edman at second or something like that. You know, I'm just offering up alternatives here. Because then can you get Edman?
Yeah, but is he playing? He's dealing with a right ankle injury.
Yeah, 2 days off.
He's also not his right split, though.
Yeah, but he's awesome.
Well, we could do this. Garcia a second and play Polanco.
Do we have $4,700 to get Polanco?
I think so. Hold on, let me check.
I might be 46.
Oh,
that's a tough one. Oh, it's a tough one. Oh.
All right, so we'll just
shot in the heart. Oh.
down to Freed. Do we go Jay? Do we play this? I have $900 left over.
I don't hate having 900. Like it doesn't feel terrible to have 900 left, because like, what are you changing there? Like you have 2 Otanis in Otani and Polanco. Like you literally have. Oh yeah, that one. Yep. Yeah, and honestly, I prefer
getting more Dodgers than Royals.
The full Dodgers to the Royals, yeah.
Right? Fried, Hoagland, Will Smith, Pasquantino, Garcia, Polanco, Witt, Otani, Teoscar, Paez.
Dude, we have 3 Otanis in our lineup.
Basically,
we have Jorge Otani, Shohei Otani, and Andy Otani. We have 3 players of just elite ilk.
And you're really just disrespectful to a guy that has.
I am really. I really should. Yeah, he was like top 5 in almost every offensive category last year, and doing it again this year. Yeah.
All right, there we go.
And Bobby Witt, who by the way hit 330 and wins MVP every other year if Aaron Judge didn't exist in the world.
We got a 300 hitting, 25 homer catcher in our lineup at 4K.
Yeah. I was extremely disrespectful to the lineup, but that is
now I have to check so the Braves don't actually play in Atlanta. Where's the stadium here? Braves Stadium. It's in is it in Atlanta? I thought I thought Trust is in somewhere else.
No, it's in Atlanta. Ask Malin. Get the confirmation from Malin. He can sniff the
northwest of it's northwest of downtown Atlanta in an unincorporated community of Cumberland, Cobb County, Georgia. I don't even know. Cumberland, Georgia weather. Let's see.
Malin, if you're listening to this, please give us some insight on, because he can sniff the hot dogs from the stadium.
Is that what he said?
Dude, he sticks his head out the window. He can smell the hot dogs.
I'm not sure where DraftKings says rain. It could just be one of those situations where it's like, it can always rain, like in Georgia.
Because it's the South.
Yeah. But as of now, weather.com hourly forecast, the most we get is like a 19% chance of precipitation, and that's at 4 p.m. From 7 p.m. on, we're talking single digits. It doesn't actually rain until like 2 a.m. Saturday morning. So we might be looking at 85 degrees in Atlanta at night with the Dodgers.
And Danny McBride pitching.
Yeah, right. Grant Holmes out there. Yeah. If we wake up tomorrow and ownership says Dodgers are 10% again, like, play this lineup.
Yeah, and like the Dodgers will always have more ownership driven because Otani is always so highly rostered. So like he will drive the ownership just through the roof, like pumps ownership. But like not enough.
Lately, he's always the highest roster Dodger, but lately he's been 12, 13%, and everybody else has been under 10.
It's true.
If tomorrow morning we get up, because I'm looking at this, I don't know where, like, I think us as someone who does this every day, we know that Senzatella is going to give up like 8 hits, right? Like,
yes,
there's a chance the Giants put up runs on the slate, but the Giants aren't a team that scores a lot of runs, right? They're not a good offense It's not a great ballpark for offense.
Awful ballpark for offense.
So I feel like more people may go Yankees against Pepio here.
Number one ballpark in the league in terms of home runs hit this year, right?
Right. You probably get the Athletics because a lot of people like to play the Athletics, and they have the Belozo matchup here in Miami.
Seattle. We know Seattle's been outside Seattle gets a lot of ownership.
Yep, Seattle will get ownership. And then maybe Houston. Again, another team that's been bad, but you see Cannon on the other side. So, like, if you see those teams and, like, the Yankees and A's are higher rostered than the Dodgers, like I'm in. I'm in on the Dodgers. If the Dodgers are the highest rostered team on the slate, as much as I still like them, it gives you reason to play Yankees or A's instead, like as a little bit of a pivot there. But
you could also
be a fun one.
You can also just to one more point on that, like, because if you're playing, like, let's say you play a 4 Dodgers or you go full Dodgers, right? You go full 5-man. You could always look to. You can still play chalk, but differentiate somewhere else. Like, don't go play the 2 chalk pitchers with them. Play one in a lower owned pitcher, or play a low owned 4-man stack or a low owned 3-man stack, like the Royals or the Blue Jays, or a cheap stack that nobody's playing, just to get some differentiation. Because you don't have to fade the chalk. You can pair the chalk with other low owned pieces in your lineup as well.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. We'll be back live at 5 p.m. Eastern time to break it all down, give you the latest news, updates, weather, and lineups. We'll answer your questions. Let us know. What do you guys think about this slate? Where are you guys looking to go? Spend up at pitching, spend down, favorite stacks, favorite values. Put them in the comment section. We'll be happy to contact you guys throughout the day until the live show at 5. We'll see you then.